Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and today we're going to have a 10-minute or less unboxing of these Duergar fighters from D&D Nolzur's miniature collection. So these are those two miniatures in a plastic like blister pack that you get. So first of all, we got these weird little clear plastic stands, which I hate. So don't expect to be seeing them anytime again. So the first of these miniatures is this rather striking young lady with her rather huge mohawk on her head, and it's the sculpt is very basic. I'm not overly impressed with this one. It's okay. As a budget dwarf, it's okay. But if you bought any of these sort of miniatures before, you kind of know what you're getting. The detail is rather soft, and there's loads of these sort of lines running through it. They're I forget what they call them now. Completely escaped my mind. Those mold lines. Hey, that's the word I was looking for. The second miniature is this guy, and I actually kind of like this dwarf. He's much more dwarfy in proportion, and I kind of like the look of him. I don't look like him. I kind of like the look of him, and he actually looks like the one in the monster manual of the D&D book. So if you have a look at the Duergar, that's what I'm thinking you pronounce it, picture, you will actually see a picture of him. So he has this mold line going across his head, like most of these sort of miniatures do, which is a bit of a pain, but there you go. So this is it, them painted up. I went for, that sort of blue skin tone, kind of more of Baldur's Gate to the new computer game. So yeah, they got this sort of blue skin tone, giving this one a heavy armor, etc. Still not my favorite miniature. I'm kind of like, yeah, it's okay, I can't really give it very good high, points, because I'm not really that keen on this sculpt. It's got that mold line across the head still. I didn't remove it. I just painted over it and tried to disguise it. And yeah, it's okay. I would give this miniature like I don't know, maybe a 3 out of 10. Not terribly keen. So the one miniature that I did kind of like the pose of is this guy, and he looks, I think, fairly good, and I've actually painted him not too bad, even if I do say so myself. I didn't blend the skin tones in very well, but because this guy is quite beefy on his upper arms, I wanted you to be able to see from a fair distance away that his muscles are popping. This guy is big dude, if not in height, in build. So I really like this guy. I would give this miniature sort of a 7 out of 10, mainly because of what it's made out of is the only reason why I would sort of mark it down. And it does have these mold lines which are a little bit annoying, but just, you can either file them down, cut them off, or just paint around them like I have. So yeah, for a budget starter, I want some dwarf Duergars, or even normal dwarves you could make them as. They're okay miniatures. They'll be good enough that you can have adventures with them, etc. But if you're gonna expand, I would buy something a little bit more expensive and maybe put a bit more money into it. So as a size comparison, this is versus an Oathmark miniature. Now you may have noticed my basing, I have put them on these bigger bases because I can't stand those clear ones that they gave us. So yeah, she is a big dwarf, even compared to the male dwarf and compared to this guy who is an Oathmark dwarf. Maybe sort of similar size here actually. The Duergar male here is kind of slightly on the shorter side, but I don't see any problem with having them on the board together. There are short dwarves and there are tall dwarfs, I suppose. So this is him compared to, I think he's either a Frostgrave or a old Warhammer Fantasy human. So as you can see, that's, to me, is sort of the perfect height for a dwarf. Maybe slightly big, this female is, but still, not too bad size when you think about it. It's just up above his shoulder, for a dwarf. It seems rather big, but it's not terribly out of thing. So all in all, they're a good budget miniature. You have to get around the mold lines, etc., but not bad. So that's my review of the Duergar dwarf people, whatever they call them. So it's going to be goodbye from me, a Welsh miniature ball gamer.